We are live. Oh, hello. It's Vincent Leblanc from his bedroom. We're live for the museum report. First of all, I have a question for you. Do you like to get lost? Because if you do, I have a special place for you. It's called the Montreal Museum of Fine Arts. It's around 4 to 6 floor. I don't really know, to be honest, because I lost myself many times. But if you go there, you can be sure about the fact that you get your mind lost about how all of the exhibits are so impressive and fascinating. And maybe you'll get your body lost too, because it's not indicated so well, to be honest. I went there, me and my girlfriend, on the 19 October 2023. The address of the place is 1380 Sherbrooke West Street if you wanted to go on the island of Montreal. And the way we can describe this fantastic museum is all of the most finest and interesting art pieces all under the same roof. To begin with, the first art piece that I really love didn't have a title. It was a small statue. The title was An Unnatural Being, but it didn't have a real title. The way it's done, it's the small statue that is with small arms, small feet, and the thing is special about this unnatural being is it didn't have a body. The body was the head, and the head was way bigger than anything else around it. So I think it's a way to probably reflect how the society is going and how humans are going, because I think we're getting more and more selfish, and maybe we need to think more about the people around us. The statue has been done by David Atchalak, sorry for the name. It's been carved on in serpentine rock, so it's kind of a jade rock, kind of grayish and like greenish rock, and it's been carved around the 2000. So I think the theme for this small statue is the theme of human and how we see each other and ourselves, also how the society is going. So it's a big human theme. Also, the way it makes me feel is maybe to think more about how I act with the people around me and how I should see myself, and to be sure everyone around me feels safe and feel good when I'm there. To continue with, I have my second art pieces that I really love. It's a sculpture done by Robert Russell. It's been carved out of spruce, that is a kind of trees, and it's been coated with red wax. It's been carved around 1949, and this sculpture is a really tall man that has a woman on her knees at his feet, and both of them doesn't wear any clothes. And I think what Robert want to make us realize with this sculpture is how the society was in that time, also because there was a lot of patriarchy and misogyny about the woman who's just there to serve the man, and the man who's the dominant and the most important sex in the society. And I think that's the way it made me feel. It made me feel that in that time it was a really big problem, and also today, even though the problem is not perfect, but I think we are a lot better now, but we still need to go down that path and to finish it, to have a perfect and the most perfect, I think, because it's never going to be 100% perfect, but the most perfect we can, to have both of the sex equal and don't have one sex that is male or female feel oppressed or feel not as important as the other. I think the themes for this culture is society, patriarchy, misogyny, and nudity, because both of them were with no clothes. To finish with my art report, I have my last art pieces I really like. It's called The Ice Harvest. It's been painted by Maurice Cullen. It's a painting done on canvas with oil, and it's been painted on 1914, around this time. Also, the painting represents a group of men who's cutting ice, I think probably in the north, and they are there with the horses, the sled, and big chunk of ice. And the thing I really love about this painting is the technique, because when you're far away from the painting, it seems all blurry and not clear, and you're like, oh, that's not a good painting, you know. But when you get more and more and more closer, you realize and you see all of the small details that the artist put on his painting, and it's quite impressive and fascinating to see how with so much detail he can put on his painting to really, it's like looking at this picture, but it's not a picture, it's like looking at the real reality that was there at that time. Also, the way it made me feel, it made me realize that the society that we are living in today is maybe not the best, and the technology that we have is maybe taking us away from this reality, because when you see the men on the painting, they seem so relaxed and so peaceful, that when I see people today, they are always hysteric and thinking about everything and making fake scenario and thinking about their lives like it's so important. But the people there were just cutting ice and having fun and talking with each other. There wasn't any type of technology or things like that that is taking us away from the reality. And that's the way it made me feel. It made me feel about maybe thinking on my future, how I want to live my life. And I think that's a very important thing, especially at my age. The theme for this painting was especially nature, because we saw horses, we saw ice, we saw snow, we saw ice, water, and also human that was there. In conclusion, to be honest, I did like the museum visit, because it's not every day that you see those kind of art, and that's the thing I really love about it, and I really like to go. I went there last year and there were a lot of new exhibits, so that's another thing I found really nice, because they are always changing the exhibits. So even if you went there like last year, you'll have new thing to see, new thing to look at, so that's really nice. Also, the only thing I hate about it, as I said in the beginning, it's really bad indicated, so you seems to lose yourself quite easily. And I talk with people in the class, and I think I'm not the only one who got lost in this museum, because it's a really big museum. So, and sometimes you go at an exhibit and you go to another one, and after that you change floor and you don't really know where you are, and I think that's okay, but it can be like indicated a better way, I think so. I do encourage you to go, especially if you never went or you went some times ago, so like a years ago and maybe more. It's really nice to go. It's really nice to see all of the painting and all of the work that people has done. There's so much creativity, technique, and they're so imaginative about their work. That's really impressive, especially for us that don't really do arts. When you go there and see the most fine art that you can see in Quebec, it's quite impressive, to be honest, and I really like my time there, so I'm sure you're gonna like it. And the thing I find especially important in museum, that it's not, you don't have only one kind of art, so that's what it's really important. And especially in the Montreal Museum of Fine Arts, you can find any types of art. So if you like more contemporary or more like modern arts, you will find it. If you like more classic arts, painting or sculpture that is way more classic, you'll find that too. You'll find all of the kind of art that is. So I'm sure you find some arts that you find maybe more interesting than other, and I'm sure you're gonna find something that will pique your interest.